I wonder if Kawhi Leonard will laugh like that when Steve Ballmer asks him to re-sign with the Clippers. Because truth be told, I'm starting to believe that curse surrounding the Clippers is real. In fact, a quick Google search will even show that there's a published book on the curse of the Clippers. And unless Kawhi wants to be any part of that dark magic, he's going to be declining his player option. And then from there, another super team will form in the Bay Area with the Golden State Warriors. First off here, Kawhi Leonard and the cursed Clippers, as of today, are on the brink of elimination against a young 22-year-old Luka Doncic.
Touching the basketball, not good execution.
Works niftily around that screen and puts up a three.
Down 2-3 in a best-of-7 series, the chances of winning the first-round series now is bad because the winner of Game 5 historically has over an 80% chance of winning the series. In the very unlikely event that the Clippers somehow reach the finals, they'll be facing one of the deadliest big threes in NBA history, with Kyrie, KD, and James Harden. If Kawhi hasn't realized the truth yet, he will really soon. And the truth is, there's no way he'll ever win a championship with this Clippers roster. This is the face he'll make when he realizes the truth. When Kawhi Leonard first signed with the Clippers back in 2019, he had no idea that the Brooklyn Nets would be forming such a powerhouse team in just the very next year by signing another MVP in James Harden. And because the Clippers mortgaged their future by signing Paul George and giving away pretty much every draft pick for the next few years, they aren't in any position to make an impactful trade that could put them over the top. Speaking of over the top, since Kawhi made his new King commercial, their first head coach, Doc Rivers, has been fired. One Sixth Man of the Year, Montrezl Harrell, left in free agency, and the other Sixth Man of the Year, Lou Williams, was traded away. A first-round exit by the Dallas Mavericks or a sweep in the finals would probably be the nail in the coffin for Kawhi in his short time with the Clippers. And I don't blame him. Kawhi's a competitor that wants to win at the highest level. And this segues into my next point. If not Clipper Nation, where else can he go? Let's deep dive a little into this question. First off, the reason why he moved to the Clippers was to be close to his family, so I doubt he'd go east. So that eliminates the Bucks and the 76ers. In the West, the top two seeds are the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns. When Deron Williams was a superstar in Utah, he said it himself that when he tried to recruit other stars, no one wanted to go play in Utah. And I'm sure that Kawhi also doesn't want to go to Utah. The Phoenix Suns, on the other hand, are a pretty weird team. Their best player is supposed to be hands down Devin Booker, but instead, a 36-year-old Chris Paul was leading their team in the MVP race. And I'm certain that without the 36-year-old, the Suns would be a 7th or 8th seed at best. And because of that, and a host of other reasons, I don't think Kawhi would want to relocate to Arizona. LeBron's getting too old, and Kawhi probably wouldn't want to join with Luka and the Joker. And Portland is one of those almost teams that does well in the regular season, but always comes up short in the playoffs. Now then, with those out of the way, which other possible teams can Kawhi Leonard join where he's A, close to home, B, they have talent, C, they have culture, and D, they have a leadership and system already in place? The answer has got to be Golden State. In terms of proximity to home, it's a short 1-hour flight. In terms of talent, we all know the Warriors have a 2-time MVP in Steph Curry, a Defensive Player of the Year in Draymond Green, and arguably the best catch-and-shoot player in NBA history in Klay Thompson, who once scored 60 points while only dribbling the ball 11 times. When it comes to culture, the Warriors are second to none, and this might be Kawhi's favorite part about the Warriors. They already have a leadership system already in place, so all Kawhi would have to do is show up to work and do his job without trying to lead, similar to his championship years in San Antonio and Toronto. Golden State literally checks off every single box that Kawhi is looking for. It's a win for both Golden State and Kawhi because Kawhi gets to go to his dream destination, and the Warriors, because they won't have to trade for him, they get to keep both of their 2021 draft picks, and they get to keep James Wiseman. Unfortunately, for salary purposes, Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre Jr. would probably both have to go, which is sad because they were just grooving into Warriors culture. But as an organization, when you're trying to win, you can't say no to a talent like Kawhi. You just can't. He's a generational talent, a top 10 player in the league, and a proven champion who plays with a chip on his shoulder. As for offloading Andrew Wiggins, if he could be traded for a lot of future draft picks, plus perhaps a solid center, that would help the Warriors immensely in the future, as their trio of Steph, Klay, and Draymond age out of the NBA. But anyway, back to the present day. Kawhi Leonard fills a hole that the Warriors desperately need, and that's someone other than Steph that can get his shot and make them at a consistent rate. Kawhi is currently one of the best in the league at the mid-range shot, and with all the spacing he'll get as a result of Steph and Klay on the perimeter, he'll be cooking barbecue chicken every single night at the Chase Center.
Back to Kawhi down the lane, fakes the 10-footer, pulls the trigger and knocks it in for points 14.
The dude is automatic from the paint, and despite his team being down 3-2 against Dallas, Kawhi is putting on a complete masterpiece. When it comes to shooting threes, Kawhi can hold his own as well. This past season, the Cyborg shot 40% from three-point land, and he almost joined the prestigious 50-40-90 club. If Kawhi makes the correct decision this offseason, the Warriors would have one of the most lethal starting five with Kawhi, Curry, Klay, Green, and an improved James Wiseman. Now, James Wiseman's offseason development is going to be another huge factor for Kawhi's decision to join the Warriors. If he can build out his frame a bit in the offseason and gain about 10 pounds of muscle, plus if he can showcase his overall improvement by playing in the Summer League or something and just completely dominate the opposition, that'll be huge in the recruitment of Kawhi. On the other side of the coin, if Wiseman isn't developed enough to be a serious contributor, then despite the potential he has, he'd probably have to be traded in order to fit this championship window that the Warriors currently have. As for the bench, it's still a work in progress, but the Warriors can definitely make it work if Kawhi is inserted into the roster. Jordan Poole, Kevon Looney, and JTA have shown they can be relied upon, and then you've also got Justinian Jessup, who the Warriors will most likely bring in to see if he can be a good contributor as well. That's only 9 of the 15 available roster spots. As for the remaining 6 spots, a ton of free agents and veterans are going to strongly consider the Warriors as the team to join to win a ring. I mean, this past year, according to Bob Myers, many players were already considering joining the Warriors until Klay's injury occurred. But imagine if not only Klay was healthy, but a 2-time Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard also joins the roster. Man, I am looking very forward to see what other experienced free agents decide to join the Warriors this offseason. Guys, just thinking about this lineup for 2022 is getting me excited. On paper at least, this would be the only team that could match up against the firepower of the Brooklyn Nets, and Kawhi has got to realize that in order to beat Brooklyn and win that championship, he'd have to team up with another super team, and that team is Golden State. There's just no other choice. And unless another miracle happens and the Brooklyn Nets suffer a bunch of injuries, they just can't be stopped. Even without Kawhi, however, the Warriors are going to be a powerhouse once Klay Thompson returns, and this is due to 1,000 reasons. I actually list them one by one in this video here, where I go over just what the return of Klay Thompson is going to mean to the Golden State Warriors. And let me tell you guys, 2022 is going to be an exciting year for Warriors fans. Click the video, guys, watch it, and I'll see you on the other side.